we're to feed our subconscious mind with life-giving thoughts. And when we feed it, when we flood it, when we, quote, bury it, we wipe out all the negative patterns that are lodged within us. We wipe it out. It's just like a Etch-a-Sketch or an erase board. There is no permanent marker on your dry erase. This month, we are focusing on igniting the power in your mind. Not in my mind, not in someone sitting next to you, not in your family member, not in your boss, in your mind. Does that feel powerful? Does that feel scary? Paradox yet again. And yet it is in your mind, which is truly the one mind, the infinite mind. And when we realize that, then that is when that power truly gets ignited. And so we're for those of you who were here last week, we're working with a treasury, a big book, Joseph Murphy. I joked about it. It's pocket size. You can carry it wherever you want to go. Unless you're going on a trip, people already told me I'm not putting that one in my suitcase. You'll be overweight on your luggage. But we wanted you to have the entire treasury of Joseph Murphy, because the one that we're focusing on, the book that we're focusing on this month, is called The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So I had all kinds of texts and emails all week like, is this where I'm supposed to start? Yeah, it's actually in the very back of this particular book. We almost sold out last week, so if you weren't here last week, I cannot impress upon you enough, get this book. If you're at home watching, I cannot impress upon you enough to get The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. In fact, when you win the lotto, tithe to CSLDallas. I talked about that last week, but it's an incredible book. And it's our book of the month, and so today what I'm doing is I'm talking about mind over matter. You know, we've seen some examples of mind over matter. We've seen examples of people bending spoons. I personally have walked on hot coals. One could call that mind over matter. But everything in our life can be mind over matter. Doesn't matter what the matter is. Is it a good matter? Is it a bad matter? Is it solid matter? Is it not? Our mind can be over that matter. And that matters. Yeah, I know. Have you ever bought something or been gifted something or whatever that one would say is somewhat technical or got some complexity to it that you might not, it's not just, you know, one plus one, you click it together, you know, like a plastic Easter egg or something, you know, but it's got some complexity to it. And when you receive it or you buy it or purchase it, maybe it's a new car or a new gadget or a computer or whatever, do you spend hours upon hours upon hours reading the instruction manual before you get going? Yes. There's one in every crowd. Look at the pictures. We all have our own methods, don't we? Traditionally speaking, though, I'm just gonna guess that we actually don't spend all the time with the operating manual before we just jump in. I was reflecting on this and I'm like, oh my gosh, I could give so many examples of this in my life, whether it's a bookcase or whatever. I think I know how to put it together just so, you know, and then there's like 2 pieces left on the side and it's like, I didn't need that. But I was thinking about this one particular, I've always been an early adopter when it comes to electronics. Now, we got to go back. I'm going to date myself, young people, I'm sorry. But you know the CD players? Some of us may still have some, but they're CD players. Well, you know, at one point, I actually bought a CD player where you could put 100 CDs in it. And I mean, it was at the time, that thing must have cost me at least $600. It was expensive, and a CD player where you could pop 100 in because I wanted to, be able to just have all my music right there on demand, whatever. This is long before Pandora, just telling you. And I didn't read the manual. I just started putting CDs in it. Well, first off, I put them in wrong, and a few got jammed, and I almost messed up the whole thing. I remember that. But eventually, I figured out how to go, and I started feeding them in. And for years, I kid you not, for years, all I did was either hit play or I hit the random button. When I moved here to Dallas, I made it, and we right-sized last year. It was like, do I keep this? Do I not? I don't really use it much, but I actually decided to keep it, and I got out the user's manual, and I started reading it. Now, we're talking almost 20 years later. I was like, oh my God, this thing does so much. I didn't know. Do you know that you can say, I want CD 1, 7, 2, 4, whatever to play because it's jazz on this particular night and these particular tracks and all this stuff? My mind was blown. Okay, well, there's a point in this. We've got a mind. Wouldn't it be great if we knew how to use it? Like my CD player. Does it take 20 years? Does it take 30? Does it take 14? Does it take 2? I don't know. But we've got the most sophisticated, technologically advanced, AI can't yet get to its level, right? It is beyond anything that we can even comprehend. It resides within our own beingness and our own body. And do we know how to use it? Sometimes. So, I'm going to read from chapter 2, and the power of your subconscious mind. You have a mind, and you should learn how to use it. There are 2 levels of your mind, the conscious or rational level, and the subconscious or irrational level. You think with your conscious mind, and whatever you habitually think sinks down into your subconscious mind, which creates according to the nature of your thoughts. Your subconscious mind is a seat of your emotions and is the creative mind. If you think good, good will follow. If you think evil, evil will follow. This is the way your mind works. The main point to remember is once the subconscious mind accepts an idea, it begins to execute on it. It is an interesting, subtle truth that the law of the subconscious mind works for good and bad ideas alike. This law, when applied in a negative way, is the cause of failure, frustration, and unhappiness. However, when your habitual thinking is harmonious and constructive, you experience perfect health, success, and prosperity. Peace of mind and a healthy body are inevitable when you begin to think and feel in the right way. Whatever you claim mentally and feel as true, your subconscious mind will accept and bring forth into your experience. The only thing necessary for you to do is to get your subconscious mind to accept your idea, and the law of your own subconscious mind will bring forth the health, peace, or the position you desire. You give the command or decree, and your subconscious will faithfully reproduce it, the idea impressed upon it. Wow. That's a lot to take in, isn't it? Or is it? Here's the thing. I talked about this last week. There's the conscious and the subconscious. If we think of the mind, conscious, subconscious, 90% of our mental life is subconscious. And yet, are we focusing on that? Are we paying attention to that? Do we care about that? What is running us? It's the 90%. It's below the surface level. It's below it. And what Murphy tells us is when we fail to make use of this marvelous power called the subconscious mind, we live within the very narrow limits. It's like this little bitty passageway we go through instead of the infinite ocean. And that limits our entire life when we don't know the power of the subconscious mind. So the subconscious is subject. This helps me to understand this. It is subject to the conscious mind. That's why it's called subjective mind. It's subject to it. That's the good news and that's the bad news. Because rest assured, your subconscious mind is going to follow your orders every single time faithfully. Wow. How many people were either here last week or watched the talk online and have been doing the thing I asked us each to do, to 5 minutes before we go to sleep, focus on something? Look around. Yay. I'm excited about the results that we're going to get to hear about. So the subconscious mind, it's working 24 hours a day. It does not stop. If we think about the body, and that is what it's doing right now, our subconscious mind is taking care of our body. It has, from the very moment we took our first breath, it's taking care of the circulatory system, it's taking care of our heart, it's taking care of our breath. Yes, I can consciously stop it. I can consciously let it out. I can't tell you, my habitual pattern when it comes to breath is to hold my breath. I've been working on that for years. So, thank goodness, it controls my breath. It's day and night, 24/7, all the time working. It builds our bodies, it maintains it, it sustains it. But guess what? We come into play here. He talks about how bearing all the fruit of your habitual thinking, that's what it does. It bears it all. It bears all the fruit. It doesn't say, your subconscious mind doesn't say, really? You want that fruit? I don't think you want the pear. I don't think you want the watermelon. I don't want to pick the fruit. The subconscious mind doesn't do that. It just follows your order. It follows your command. So it's time to start looking, and Dr. Peacher talked about this last Wednesday night in the Wednesday night class, to start looking at our seat of our habits. What seat of habits are we sitting in, and what are running us? Because whatever we think about habitually sinks into our subconscious mind, good and not so good. If you think about it, the habitual thinking is like grooves, and it just keeps making more grooves. And actually, those grooves, they just keep getting deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's what's running us. Is it time to get on a new groove in some areas of your life? Yes? So one of the ways that we can start setting a new groove is to become aware. This question was asked Wednesday. How do we set new patterns in motion? Well, to become aware. Start being aware of the language that you use, verbally and non-verbally, most importantly. The language of, no matter what it is, let's take some examples. Well, I can't afford it. You want something, I can't afford it. I can't afford to go to school. I can't afford to get a car. I can't afford this house. I can't afford. Anybody have the can't afford? Yeah, you don't have to raise them high. You can just sort of go. I can't afford, I can't afford to go on that vacation. Why would I sign up for that trip? I can't afford it. The can't afford is following the order. Your subconscious mind is following, I can't afford. You're right, you can't. She ordered. I'm too old now. I can't do that. I'm too old. Oh my God, I'm reaching. It's one of the 0 years. I know when y'all have them. I know when I have them. We talk a lot about it, right? Oh my God, I'm too old now. I'm too old to do that. Oh my gosh, I'm too old. Just raise your little hand. Is that running you? Okay. He gave a great example. I don't like mushrooms. Do you know that I used to say that for at least 24, 25, 26 years? I don't like mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. They squeak in my teeth. I don't like mushrooms. I don't like mushrooms. And then invariably, I'd get some spaghetti sauce or pizza or whatever. And sometimes, the little mushroom pieces are too little to pick out. I used to upset certain people in my life when I'd pick them out, But sometimes it was so small I couldn't pick them out. I don't like mushrooms. Guess what? I always had indigestion. I want you to think about this. There's a habitual pattern of I don't like blank, like food. And then when one eats it, what happens? It doesn't agree with you because I don't like. Something to think about. No one accepts me for who I am. No one's going to like me if I really just show up, Just raise your little hand. No one else is. People don't trust me. People don't trust me. No one trusts me. They're not going to trust me. Just listen. Do you have any of these running? I can't get ahead in this world. I can't get that promotion. They're going to promote somebody else. They always promote somebody else. They don't promote me. Can't get ahead. Okay. I don't want to go dating. I'm afraid I'm going to get hurt. I've been hurt. I always get hurt. My heart gets broken. Oh my God, I don't want my heart to break. How about this one? I tend to be sick a lot. I'm sick a lot. Or other people tell you, you're sick a lot. You're sick a lot. Why are you so sick all the time? You're sick a lot. Yeah, anytime I get on an airplane, I catch a cold. Or around people that got... These are just a few. I invite you to begin to spend some time with some of these thoughts when they crop up, verbally especially, and non-verbally. Now, the great news is, for those of us who are reading the book, and those of us that are going to run out and get it, I don't care if you get it on Amazon, get it. Is as we read this book, we're going to really understand what he tells us to do and some of the ways that we can set the new grooves. First thing he tells us, he says, stop, this is about body stuff. Stop talking about your ailment or giving it a name. I cannot tell you how many times I see, it's been recent again, people on Facebook and social media when they get sick, boy, do they name it. I got this, I got that, I got, and then how often do you talk about it? Oh my God, I got strep throat, I got this, I got pneumonia, I got this. We name it and we start talking about the ailment. And we're doing something to our subconscious mind. So he says, stop it. Stop talking about the ailment. If you have arthritis, stop talking about it. If your knee hurts, stop saying it hurts. Oh, my back hurts. Stop it. Stop talking about the ailment. Stop naming it. That is some profound wisdom that we can start doing now. This is powerful. When we develop a habit of this, oh my gosh, never finish a negative statement. Never finish a negative statement. He tells us to reverse it immediately. And we start picking up a habit that something is about to come out of our mouth. I can afford anything I want. Reverse it immediately, right? Either verbally or non-verbally. I can't afford to go on that trip. I can afford to go on that trip. Reverse it immediately. And wonders will truly start to happen in your life. And then eventually over time, just like anything else, we start building a new groove. We get a stronger muscle. And all of a sudden, those things, we catch it. We don't even get to can't or won't or, right? Are y'all with me? He tells us to change habitual thinking is to do repetition. Repetition, repetition, repetition. I'll talk a little bit more about this in a minute, but repetition. And to have faith and expectancy. But repetition, repetition. Do you know, I'm just up here just gonna admit something to you. Up until recently, my habitual pattern was I always, some of you may find this hard to believe, and some of you may go, yeah. I would always lead with something negative. Now, I could say what caused that, but I have to own it. Doesn't matter who's around you and what they did and what you grew up with and yada, 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 yada. As that's what I was doing most of the time. Of course, then I cut that out so I wouldn't be in the environment so that then I could work on me. And I had to look myself in the mirror and go, yep, Peter's right. I lead with negative. I led with negative in my own mind every single time. There could be so much good. And guess what I teach? Guess what I preach? It's taken months. But I'm grateful that I'm not leading with that. I had to set a new groove in my habitual thinking. Habitual thinking. It was so ingrained in me, but kicked it to the curb. Over time, we can set a new groove. Repetition, repetition. I look at the positive. I notice the positive. I affirm the good. I look for the good and praise it. Whatever it is. And over time, it's like ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da in my own life. And then I go, oh, and. But it used to be ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Oh, and. You see? We can change anything that's running us right now that we don't want to be running us. Anything. He tells us to bury, I say flood. Either way, bury is just cover up, with lots of good dirt, good soil, or flood it, your mind with the concepts of harmony, of happiness, of peace, of prosperity, whatever it is. Flood it, flood it, flood it. Drown out the stuff we don't want in our subconscious. We're going to start with this. If you have a cell phone, I want you to take a picture of that slide. Really. Or type it in your little thing. But first we're going to say it, but I want to make sure you capture this. This could be something before you go to bed. You're going to do this repetitively. Are y'all ready? Okay. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Do it again. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Once more. I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. You know, put them in the order that you want. Maybe it spells something so you can remember. Drop a few off. I don't care. Put in different words that you want. But begin to do a new groove. He has so many examples of people's lives that have absolutely, quote, miraculously turned around because of saying this statement. Every morning when you wake up, every night when you go to bed, every moment when you're feeling crappy, pull out your cell phone on your notes and go, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. So we're to feed our subconscious mind with life-giving thoughts. And when we feed it, when we flood it, when we, quote, bury it, we wipe out all the negative patterns that are lodged within us. We wipe it out. It's just like a Etch-a-Sketch or an erase board. There is no permanent marker on your dry erase. That was good. Thank you, Spirit. As you continue to do this, all the past will be wiped out. Have faith in this, trust in this, expect this, believe this, or not. Joseph Murphy tells us that every thought is a cause and every condition is an effect, and for this reason it is essential. It is essential that you take charge once and for all of your thoughts, so you only bring forth the desirable conditions that you want. And he talks about this concept. I love this concept. The conscious mind is, so our conscious mind, that which we have control of right now, which actually we have control of the subconscious mind too, right? We just found that out. But the conscious mind is the watchman at the gate. It is the watchman at the gate, and its chief function, in fact, we'll call it the main key function, is to protect your subconscious mind from false impressions. So it is time once and for all to be the watchman or the watchwoman and stand at our own gate and to choose, because we get to choose. We get to choose what gets through. Our greatest capacity we have is the capacity to choose. And you are the only one, good news, bad news, that gets to entertain what thoughts you choose to entertain, what you choose to talk about inwardly, and what you choose to talk about outwardly. So you can choose happiness and abundance, or you can choose something else. And so stand guard at the gate of your own mind. These pictures I took in Bangkok, Thailand. This was at the Grand Royal Palace. And this is it's called a Rakshasa, I think. Gate guard. These things are huge. They're 2 stories high, and there's 2 of them. And they stand at every doorway into a temple. They're massive. They're standing guard. They won't let the evil thoughts, let's call it, the evil stuff come in. The stuff that won't serve. So pick up this big, bold, beautiful, albeit blue, there's green ones, there's white ones, I saw all colors, but have that watchman. It comes from Jeremiah 6:17, this idea of the watchman of the gate. It says, also I set watchmen over you, saying, hearken to the sound of the trumpet. Hearken to the sound of what's getting through your conscious mind and into your conscious mind. And if it's not good, have that trumpet blare and let that watchman or that watchwoman take a stand and say, you shall not pass. You cannot get through. I will not let you there. And speak authoritatively, speak with authority. You're the ones with all the authority. And if something's trying to get in that you don't want in, you can tell it, I'm in control. You're not welcome here. Get out of my house. Now, sometimes other people try to tell us things, don't they? Sometimes other people try to tell our children things. We can teach our children this. Well, you're not good in math. You'll never sing in front of anybody. Whatever. We're told things sometimes from people outside of us. And so these people in and of themselves have no power over you. They have none, except the power you give them in your own thoughts. And if that seeps and sinks and sets and is seated in your subconscious, there you go. Be a watchman. So you have to give mental consent. So from here on out, you don't have to give it. You are in control. Now, don't forget, this includes your own thoughts too. So, I invite us to begin every day to stand guard at the gate of our own mind. And then third, he tells us that what is impressed in the subconscious is expressed. So what is impressed is expressed. This is ancient wisdom. So within, so without. As above, so below. When they cracked open the tomb of Hermes, everybody was excited. Guess what they found? So within, so without. As above, so below. It's been expressed in every faith tradition known to mankind. Murphy tells us whatever thoughts, beliefs, opinions, theories, or dogma you write, engrave, or impress on your subconscious mind, you shall experience them as objective manifestation of circumstances, conditions, and events. What you write on the inside, you will experience on the outside. Now, sometimes we may be in a moment in our own life where we want to imprint something on the inside that we actually consciously don't believe. Has that ever happened? Yeah, and we hear the fake it till you make it, all that kind of stuff, right? I have another method now, thanks to Joseph Murphy. You don't necessarily have to fake it till you make it. This is powerful. And so for the past few months, I've been doing this too with different things. So instead of saying, I am healthy, if perhaps whatever's going on in your body, you don't necessarily believe that to the fullest extent, then what you can impress upon your subconscious mind is, you ready? Health. There's nothing there that you're going to go, well, that ain't true, is there? I mean, really, this is brilliant. Okay? You can't pay your rent money. You have not two nickels to rub together, it seems, paycheck to paycheck, and you're going, I am wealthy. And your conscious mind is going, Hosa! Excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. You ready? Yeah. Wealth. Yes. Wealth. Can you believe that? Yes. Wealth. Is there such a thing as wealth? Yes. Right? Oh my gosh, I'm so happy I read this and am putting it to use in my life. I have to say, since I've been reading this and rereading it, and working it myself too. I've been like working on something, and so you know what I'm doing? Ideal weight. I've released 3 pounds doing nothing in the past 3 days I'm not kidding, before I go to sleep at night, ideal weight. There is nothing in me when I say ideal weight that goes, well, you're not, because I'm not saying I'm at my ideal weight. Ideal weight. I weighed myself this morning and went, oh my God, I can put this jacket on. This is powerful. It is. So that's where we begin. Health, wealth, love, whatever, ideal weight, and just set a new groove. Health, health, health. It must. And then at some point you can go, I am healthy. And your conscious mind goes, yes, you are. Great. But if right now it can't go, because I'm telling you, and Ernest Holmes talks about all this all the time. If you gave a taxi driver left and right at the same time, where are you going? It's confused. He doesn't know where to take you. But health, wealth, whatever it is, bam, all the time. Set the new groove, and it must. And then all of a sudden, it must follow your order, and it says, health it is. Wealth it is. You didn't say it must come in this form.
Right.
Okay, I trust you got that, and we'll start putting that. So, the great news is you have a mind. And now, do you know how to use it better? Yes. I love that. So let's use it. We're given more of an instruction manual. We know how to take it up. So remember, once the subconscious mind accepts an idea, it begins to execute it. So I'm really impressing this upon you. So number 1, stop talking about any kind of ailment or giving it a name. Stop it! Never finish a negative statement. I do this, I hear this from y'all all the time. Da-da-da-da-da, and I go, ba-da-da, and y'all go, oh, wow, that's a good way to restate it. That's how we help each other in this community. If you hear someone say a negative statement, just help them reframe it. And they go, oh my gosh, you've just helped them in that groove, right? Really, don't be the negative police and get all bossy. You know what I'm saying. But let's help each other. When you hear like, well, I can't go on that trip. Well, remember Joseph Murphy said, or Rev Karen, I don't care. And go, yes, you can. Trip. Well, I don't want to do that, but, Stand guard at the gate of your mind and flood your mind with concepts of harmony, health, peace, and love. Are y'all ready to ignite the power of your mind? We are going to use this 90%. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for all of us. And I'm excited because when you prove it, guess what you're going to start doing? Aren't you? I proved it. Then you start talking about it, right? You go, guess what I proved? This stuff really works. So Julie, I'm going to ask you to come up and do a prayer because he gives us one. And this is in the book. And this now is on my little notes. I put little notes on my iPhone and then I just, oh, yes. So, I want you to take this into your own mind. And if you want, you can say it out loud. There's power in the spoken word. I'll put this on social media so you'll have that. Maybe I'll type it up and Richard will put it on the talk slide. So no matter where you are, the most incredible power in the universe resides within you. No one anyone else as you. It resides in all of us, but you get to control the content. You control the programming. You control the software. You control hardware. You control everything. And that's the great news. So I invite you to repeat after me. Infinite intelligence leads and guides me in all my ways. Perfect health is mine. And the law of harmony operates in my mind and body. Beauty, love, peace, and abundance are mine. The principle of right action and divine order govern my entire life. I know my major premise is based on the internal truths of life. And I know, feel, and believe that my subconscious mind responds according to the nature of my conscious thinking. And so I know that a new groove. Oh no. Okay, we're good. Okay. That's so cute. You had your eyes closed. I love this community so much. I know that a new groove. No. Okay, just be quiet. Conscious mind says to subconscious mind, silence. So I know a new groove is set in motion right here and right now. That we stand guard at the gate of our own mind. And only that which is good and fruitful and healthful and wealthful and wholesome gets through. We stand vigilant. I keep before me my moments of high resolve. I stand at the gate of my own mind and watch what gets through and what doesn't. And so it is.
I hope you love watching these as much as we love sharing them with you. And to help us spread the message and to keep this going, please donate. You can text. You'll find the number on your screen. You can go find Easy Tithe as an app and find CSL Dallas. Or you can come to our website, CSLDallas.org/give, and donate there. And while you're there, check us out. And when you're in Dallas, come visit. We want you to be part of our community. And we love having you here.